to Cheddar's News Wrap. Millions of Americans are now feeling some relief after the CDC announced that it will extend its eviction moratorium for 60 more days. This new order, set to expire on October 3rd, will only apply to areas of the country experiencing high or substantial transmission levels of COVID-19. According to CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky, this latest provision will help decrease the rapid spread of the Delta variant across the country. Joining us now to discuss more is New York City-based landlord-tenant attorney Altagracia, Pierre-Outerbridge. Altagracia, welcome to the show. Such a pleasure to talk to you. Talk to us more about what this new moratorium includes. And one of the biggest questions about it is it legal?
Is it legal? Well, that's going to be determined, right? We know that the Supreme Court just in June said that it wouldn't allow it to be renewed, but the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration went forward and said, you know, to heck with it, we're going to renew it. If it's challenged, it's challenged. In the meantime, the $47 billion in rental assistance would have been distributed. So it's actually achieving the short-term goal of getting the money distributed, which would stop evictions anyway.
So does this latest provision halt evictions that were already going to take place before this moratorium was issued earlier in the week?
Correct. So it's really halting every eviction. It's stopping it in the process. I'm told that on Monday some folks were actually evicted before the Tuesday moratorium was extended on Tuesday. But really, at this point, all evictions should be stopping.
All evictions should be stopping. How can a resident find out whether or not their area is protected by this moratorium?
So you can actually go on the CDC website and see. It's really 90% of the U.S. population is covered, and 80% of the counties in the U.S. is covered. So I would imagine that it's assumed that you're covered unless it's proven otherwise. But you can go on the CDC website and find out. There is an actual order that actually has a link to find out if your county is protected. But it's really 90% of the U.S., especially as the Delta variant is rising.
Doesn't this new expansion separate those who are not within the areas currently dealing with COVID-19 and the Delta variant outbreak? What happens to them?
Well, I mean, technically they would be evictable, right? They would be evicted. They would go through the legal process and actually be evicted. Hopefully they would put forward defenses to their eviction. I mean, evictions, for a landlord to actually pursue and get to an eviction order, we are a nation of laws. They would have to actually prove their case, prove that they are the landlord, prove that this is the tenant, and that there is rent owed. So there are defenses based on your locality, based on your state. So I would suggest that I would suggest that a tenant seeks a landlord-tenant attorney in their state to see what their defenses are if they are not covered by the moratorium.
We have to talk about the landlords, because some of them are arguing that this extension just pushes some renters to exploit the provision and that those should be held accountable, those people that might be exploiting the situation. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't think, I think it's really, it's for the greater good, right? Whether or not one person's exploiting or some folks are exploiting, I don't think folks are exploiting, but if it's really for the greater good, in the end, whether someone's exploiting or not, this is really for the protection of all of us.
What are some of the resources out there that people can look if they feel they are on the verge of being forced out of their homes?
Sure. So there are $47 billion that are allocated for emergency rental assistance. Those funds were distributed to the states. So the states are distributing them, though slowly. As of last week, only $3 billion was distributed out of the $47 billion. So folks should apply for the rental assistance using the agency that is doling out that rental assistance in their specific state. The second thing they should do, right, is to seek out counsel, whether it's free legal aid counsel or paid counsel. They should seek out counsel. The third suggestion is to really find out what your defenses are, what in your state is actually protecting you. I know that in New York City, even before the moratorium was extended, you could actually apply for submit a hardship affidavit, which actually protected you. So states also have their own protections if you're not protected or if you are even protected.
What could we expect to see after this expires on October 3rd?
Well, hopefully the monies are distributed. Folks are predicting housing advocates are predicting massive evictions. Hopefully the money is distributed to actually halt that. We know that the courts are backlogged, so there is going to be there is going to be some process to get to an eviction even after the moratorium ends, because these cases are backed up for better or for worse. They're backed up in the court system. So we can expect massive evictions, except that the courts are also backed up to get to that unfortunate point. So I think it will all work out in the end. I think both sides should really try to work it out, and I think that's what we'll be forced to do.
New York City-based landlord-tenant attorney Altagracia, Pierre-Outerbridge. Thank you so much for your time, Altagracia. We really appreciate it. More to come here on Cheddar's News.